plantar flexion. So we're just going to pop the band around each side of the table legs. We're going to use the table for support here, and we're just going to lift the foot up, and the flexion is where we just retract the toes. So that's tibia that's doing the work there. Working on strengthening that tibia, getting rid of any shin split niggles, anything like that. We're going to do that on both legs, mate. So lift it up so that there is a little bit of resistance there. Again, holding onto the table for support. It's not a balance exercise. I'm just retracting those toes up and down. Next one we're going to go into is a standing abduction. Abduction is where the leg crosses the midline of the body. So again, depending on how much resistance you want to use, whether you use 2 or 1, just for demonstrations, I'll just use 1. Slide that lead leg back, front leg goes out in front, and it just goes across. Now the only time it's really going to get difficult is when this leg crosses the midline of the body, because that's when the band is at resistance. So 1, 2, 3, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, through so on and so on. Adduction, hip flexors is where we're going out once again, using the table for a bit of support, nice and balanced on the leg. And we're going to adduction, running out there. Again, the further out you go, the more pressure it's going to put on the hip flexors and the opposite glute muscle for stabilisation. 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. Standing knee drives. Really like these ones for the hip flexors, for the glutes. If you're a little bit bad with balance like me, just grab a dining chair or anything, or whatever you've got access, because we want to be able to come fairly forward and get that resistance already. And what we're going to do is we're going to drive this leg forward. That's really going to pull on your adductors, hamstrings, and the glutes. So really driving forward with that one. Forward, forward, forward. Again, swapping sides, making sure you get even reps, using your chair for support if you want, or going without, it's up to you. Driving forward, forward, forward. Last one is the hinge movement. We're going to use the band as some resistance. You're going to walk forward, chair out of the way. Hip hinge, okay, so feet shoulder width apart, glutes go back, legs stay nice and straight, hands run down fronts of the legs there. And then when we're coming up, that's where the resistance band comes into play, because it wants to pull you back and you have to stabilize against it. So we're not leaning forward, we're not leaning back, chest up. It's quite a straight movement. As we go down, the resistance band goes back, it's happy, and then we power forward. We'll feel that in the abductors, adductors, glutes, hamstrings, and even the backs of the knees, especially when we get to there as well. Just focus on dropping your shoulders. The last thing you want to do with this one is have your shoulders up, hunched, rounded forward. So keep thinking about shoulder blades down, hinge forward, squeezing up, and that's your warm-up.